now Corey Holcomb is going at Joe Budden. Look, Joe Budden said, and I thought it was weird. Joe Budden say, Corey Holcomb was snitching on Will Smith by saying he likes man on man. He like that shit that makes a man love another man. You know what I mean? That 6 degrees of separation type shit. You know what I mean? Well, look here, bro. Now he going at Joe Budden. Now he going at Joe Budden. He say Joe Budden hiding something in the legends of Backdoria, and he say Joe Budden been playing in what did he call it? And not playing in mud, not dipping his pecker in mud, but he called it something. I don't know, bro. It's something about Corey Holcomb that just doesn't sit right, bro. Why do you care if all these men are actually wrestling in WrestleMania this year? Why, or last year or the year? Why do you care, bro? Drop it in the comments, man. Something about Corey Holcomb, dog. And the way he going at Joe Budden, he wants Joe Budden. We gonna get into this footage, bro. Let's just, you know what? Let's just go ahead and get into the footage. We have to, you know what I mean? Why? Because you're not gonna understand this until you see how Corey Holcomb is speaking and some of the terminology he uses, fam. Some of the terminology, I'm just being honest, bro. It's like, where do you learn this shit? Well, the rooms that you say you were in while you were seeing these celebrities show up and kissing each other and doing all this other type of shit, why were you there, bro? That's what we have to ask Corey Holcomb before we can go any farther. Let us start there, you know what I mean? Corey Holcomb, what's going on, fam? Why do you care who a man sleeps with? I gotta know what I gotta know. Stop messing with my mind, you know what I mean? Come on, man. What's going on? Let's get into this Corey Holcomb footage, bro, because Joe Budden ain't gonna like this. Yeah, Joe ain't gonna like this one.
Like Joe Budden's, he mentioned about that Cam Newton thing when I was on Cam Newton, and I said, or I alluded to Will Smith on the Backdoria side of the game.
Yeah.
I ain't gonna lie, I wish I wouldn't have said no name, but I said it and I gotta stand on it.
That's the perfect word after you say Backdoria.
Yeah.
But.
Yeah, but yo, man, this thing, man, it's like, I don't like necessarily being at war with so many people, because it's too many people, if you ask me. But I know what I stand for is going to bring drama.
Yeah. But is it war, or is it just people?
Well, I don't think it's war with Joe Budden's them yet. I hope it doesn't. I would like to, like Terrence Howard, I saw him say this word on where he was talking about the people who talking crazy about him. I don't think Terrence Howard knew how many people was going to be talking crazy about him when he said stuff on the internet. Right. And Terrence Howard said, I would like to have a duel with you.
What did Joe Budden?
Ain't that an old school word? Yeah. We can have a duel. We can use bottles, guns, whatever.
What did Joe Budden? That's all he said?
No, Joe Budden feels like I was telling when I mentioned Will Smith on the Backdoria side of the game.
Like telling his business?
But like he said, that's snitching.
But it's just your
opinion. And so look, no, just let me say this, because I really would love to debate that crew over there about this. Yeah, and Craig, you and Darlene might not even agree with me, but I want to say this. If a man gets penetrated by a man or is penetrated by a man and I say something about that business, I don't feel like that's snitching.
I think that's
$5 right there. It said what? Budden admitted to being Backdoria.
I don't know.
April M says that. Listen, that's what I want to ask these people. Do I have to be at war with you to ask you, have you ever been penetrated or penetrated a man in any way? Do I have to be at war with you to ask that? Well, because I want to ask the brother Joe Budden's that. I want to ask a lot of people that, because we're getting to the point in society, we can't keep hiding this. Joe Budden's, I would love to debate him and his crew, because they said something that I thought was a good topic to talk about. They said being gay is not a crime. What Puffy did was a crime. And I don't know if people even know this who are outside of the United States. There are places in this country where they don't allow all that man-on-man Zesty plunging. You can't take the Zesty plunge in all countries. You know what I'm saying? This is America where they want the chaos and they want the hotel towels to be ruined. Yeah. They want those towels to be ruined. They should make them dark black so people, they won't be happy about it, but at least they won't know what they're doing. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? These white hotel towels are useless after the Backdoria mob leaves. And I'm saying like, yo, I would say to Joe Buttons, I don't look at it as snitching, man. I look at it as, you know what I'm saying? It's a perverted act, and I speak on it because, you know what I'm saying? I make jokes of perverted things. That's what I do. So I can speak on perversion. Yeah. I don't look at perversion as something you can't say nothing about. You remember that time when the guys on Joe Budden's podcast said something about us because I made a mistake and I thought the one girl was another girl? Oh, and we was talking about, I said back then, there's Backdoria involved with that situation. And I'm saying, I'm not arguing. If I'm wrong, tell me, look in the camera, because I know we probably won't meet or whatever. And you know what I'm saying? If we do meet, I'm gonna be able to tell when somebody look at me in my eye. Look in the camera and let me know, hey, I've never been penetrated by a man or penetrated a man in any way. If you tell me that, we can have a conversation as men, but you're not gonna keep ducking it in front of me.
It's getting to the point where you're too curious, man. You're way too curious. I guess you don't know the story of Curious George. You know what? Fuck Curious George. Curiosity killed the cat, fam. Curiosity killed the cat. I don't know if you've been to Backdoria, whatever you call it. I don't know if you've been there, if you've been mudsliding or dipping your pecker in something you shouldn't. I don't know, bro. But you want people to kind of admit something so you can feel like it's okay, bro. Corey Holcomb, just come out. You just come out, bro. You ain't got to know everybody else's business to let a nigga know yours. You know what I mean? You, my friend, we want you to look in the motherfucking camera and say you have never had a pecker or received one. You know what I mean? I can do that, you know? And I've been married for 16, 17 years, even though that don't matter, because a lot of niggas be on download, but you got to get on the camera and say, you know what, this is me saying it. I have never took a pecker or received one. You know what I mean? We want to see if Corey Holcomb can do that. Because I'm starting to think, bro, he's received one. You know what I mean? It's like the curiosity that this man possesses. It just ain't right. You know, it just ain't right, bro. It just ain't natural. You know what I mean? Do you want to sleep with these men or something? Drop it in the comments, man. Corey Holcomb, it's starting to look like you on some weird shit, bro. I'm just being honest. I'm just being real. Yeah, drop it in the comments, man. Scars from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe. We going up by any means. Any means necessary, we going up. No, I do not take donations. I don't need them. You know, I don't ask for donations because I don't need them. So don't. I want to donate. I want to donate. No. If you want to invest, that's something different. squadsfromtheplayground@gmail.com. Hit me there. You know what I mean? But all that donate shit, bro, I don't like the your vernacular doesn't. I don't agree with it. You know what I mean? Point blank, fucking period. Scores from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe, nigga, peace. Corey Holcomb is a weirdo. Joe Budden has always been a kind of a weirdo too, and definitely, you know, and say allegedly has gotten on his knees for the dealer. Maybe this is what Corey Holcomb is referring to, but I don't know, bro. Drop it in the comments. Scores from the Playground. Like, share, subscribe, nigga, peace.
If they throw it, I'ma catch it to play the game like Tetris. I'm one of a kind rap, people tell me I'm a clip. I've been working 24 hours, summertime to winter. I ain't really at the chill, it gotta be about business.